Welcome to From the Shed End podcast with myself, T-Dot. As always, thank you very much for joining me. Now, before we get into the content, I just want to say a quick thing around the podcast, episode 64. I know a couple of you have got in touch with us and told us that the Spotify link is not working. There is no episode 64 on Spotify. I am looking into this with the distributor, so hopefully we'll get that up and running soon. But in the meantime, if you've got an Apple phone, iPhone, go straight to Apple Podcasts. You'll be able to listen to 64 on there, and also YouTube as well. We've got the full video with myself and Theo on YouTube right now, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course let us know your thoughts in the comments around episode 64. It is called The Revolving Door. We are going to be talking transfers in this video as well. So again, social accounts at the very bottom of this screen, as you can see. Make sure you check out those social accounts as well. But let's get straight into it, because there's been a couple of things that have happened since the last video that I did last week. The first one being Raheem Sterling. The deal is done. Personal terms have been agreed. It looks like this is the first big signing for Todd Boehly. Of course, there's been other signings within the women's team, and I think at the sort of youth development level as well, we've had some players come through the academy. But in terms of the men's team, this has been the big one that we've been waiting for. Raheem Sterling, 55 million. £300,000 a week. Yes, £300,000 a week is the wages that Raheem Sterling will be on. I think it's a 4-year deal with the option to extend as well. But of course, look, this is what we wanted. We wanted some marquee signings. Is this the marquee signing that we wanted? Potentially not. Is he proven in the Premier League? 100%. Is he one of the players that Pep was relying on heavily when he first got to Man City? Of course, yes. Is it Ousmane Dembele level? Potentially not, no. Were they going to be playing in two different positions? Yes. So for me personally, going for a player that has the Premier League experience, the qualities that we know that he can do throughout a game, throughout a season, he can unlock defenses, take on defenders. Like, this is exactly what we need in the team, and this is what we've been missing as well, in terms of not having those players that can do that on a consistent basis in the squad. You know, people talk about Pulisic. He's tried to do it on numerous occasions and hasn't been able to do so. The same with Timo Werner, in and out the team. I feel like Raheem Sterling coming in, he's obviously been given reassurances by Thomas Tuchel. There was a lot of discussions prior to the agreement being made, and I think one of those key things was that Thomas Tuchel will utilise Sterling as one of the key players going forward next season. I'm not disappointed in that at all. You know, as long as he can come into this team and gel, understand what's expected of him as a player, utilise and bring what he's learnt from Pep Guardiola. If you remember when Raheem Sterling was at Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers to how he was under Pep Guardiola, he's definitely developed and matured as a player. So I'm looking forward to seeing him at Chelsea. It's going to be hopefully the first signing of a couple more as well, because obviously we still need to sort out our centre-backs. We still need to sort of maybe talk about who plays up front, which we'll talk about shortly as well. But just in terms of Raheem Sterling, he brings a lot of quality, a lot of experience to a team. Now, obviously, the question that everyone's raised, there's two big questions that's been raised. Firstly, the wages. Me personally, I don't care what a player's on. I think if we're willing to pay him 300,000, then that's what we're paying him. It's not coming out my pocket. It's not coming out the fans' pockets. It's coming out of the owner, Todd Boehly is the guy that's finalising, giving us the green tick, and he's the one who'd be paying the wages at the end of the day. Does that concern me? Not really. Not really. I think at the end of the day, we need to give Raheem Sterling the same opportunity we've given Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic. The amount of chances and time and effort we put into Romelu Lukaku, we need to do the same for Raheem Sterling. It makes no difference to me. End of the day, that's what we've agreed. 300,000 a week, 55 million. It's not my money. I don't really care. The second question is around Man City allowing Raheem Sterling to leave the club. Again, me personally, that sometimes players just want new challenges. You know, they want new challenges. They want to move on to different clubs. I mean, he played for QPR as a youngster. He grew up in Brent as well. So he's a London boy. He wants to move back to London, get back to potential, familiar surroundings as well. Obviously, he's made his life up in Cheshire. And I'm sure he's got family, in London as well. So I think for him, it's a win-win. He's on good money. He's got an increase in what he was earning at Man City. Back to sort of local surroundings in terms of London, playing for a good club who hopefully we can go on and close that gap with Man City and Liverpool as well. And I think he's going to be a great addition to the squad as well. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see with him. Now, I do want to talk about another player from Manchester, but Manchester of Red, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, this is a bit of a shock for me because earlier this week, it came out that Ronaldo has stopped reporting for training. He was due to return to Manchester's pre-season training Monday. He's still in Portugal. He is training on his own, which is a bit alarming if you're a Manchester United fan. But in terms of Cristiano Ronaldo, who wants to play Champions League football ahead of the World Cup coming up, he wants to play, I don't know, arguably one of the best teams in Europe, champions of the world, as we call ourselves. And for me, how do I feel about Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea? It's a difficult one because it's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo. He gets you goals. He knows where the back of the net is. I mean, it's Ronaldo. But on the flip side of that as well, there's a part of me in the back of my mind that's thinking about Romelu Lukaku, the things that I said about Neymar, ego, diva, these things that are always surrounding the club. And we're supposed to be going through some sort of, not rebuild, but the transition and forward luck and bringing in youth players, younger players. And does he fit what Thomas Tuchel's trying to do at Chelsea, I suppose, is the question we need to ask ourselves. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Ronaldo a good signing for Chelsea? Does he fit what Thomas Tuchel is trying to do at Chelsea as well? Me personally, I don't think we can turn down Ronaldo for 14 million is what United, I think, have valued Ronaldo in terms of what he has done for the club. For me personally, last season, Ronaldo's the reason Man United actually finished in the top half of the table. Yes, a lot of those are penalties, but some of the games he dragged that United team through, and he was a poor United team. So to imagine what he can do with quality players around him, the likes of Sterling, Mason Mount, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, these sort of players that can potentially work better with Ronaldo than the likes of United squad. It does make sense. It does. I'll be honest. It does make a bit of sense to me, but I just have that reluctance in terms of the ego. The fact that he's not turning up to training right now tells me that there's a massive ego there. And if something does go wrong between him, the manager, the owners, something at the club, he just downs tools. We've seen it before. He's done it plenty of times before, other clubs as well. And I just think that side of him, he's got a lot of power. He's Ronaldo. He's got a lot of power. He comes into a club, he almost demands what he wants and gets what he wants. Or if he doesn't get what he wants, he goes. We've seen it before. So that's the side of me that worries me a little bit. The same way I spoke about Neymar, the things that we got to see with Romelu Lukaku in the end, the fact that he down tools and ends up with the dream move back to Inter Milan, we could see that happening with Ronaldo. We could see it happening with Ronaldo. So me personally, I think other European teams, maybe Serie A, back to La Liga, maybe the Bundesliga would probably suit him a bit more in terms of being able to be the star man still. I don't know necessarily if Thomas Tuchel would be willing to play Ronaldo week in, week out, in the style of play that we play as well. I just don't see it happening. But for 14 million, I mean, he's obviously settled in England again now. He's got a big family around him in terms of his wife and his kids. And to potentially play in London, one place that he hasn't played for a club, then you never know. But just for me, for me personally, it would be a massive backstep in terms of us trying to transition the squad for the next 2 or 3 seasons to try and push for the Premier League. For me, and I think maybe Jamie Carragher or someone said this last season, but he's someone that you don't buy if you're building for the future. You just don't. He's just not that. You either win the league with him now, which I've on record said I don't think we're winning the league this season, or you don't buy him at all. What are you buying him for? And we have to ask that question. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Me personally, you can't really pass upon Ronaldo, but it is Ronaldo in the diva. So I'm sitting on the fence on that one. Really good signing, but it comes with a lot of baggage. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Now let's talk centre-backs, because obviously it's one area that we still haven't really nailed down or sustained any real movement or traction in terms of who we should sign or we're likely to sign. We've still been flirting around with Jules Koundé, Koulibaly, Delete, all these defenders that we've been linked with, and it seems like we're just going out and trying to get the best deal possible. And I feel like this is almost turning into the Andreas Christensen, Antonio Rudiger saga again, where we're leaving everything to the last minute and then the players decide that they need to go and look after themselves respectfully and find clubs for themselves. We've been chasing Jules Koundé for how long now, and this is still going on. This has been going on for nearly 18 months. This is before the season kicked off last year, and we still haven't signed him. And I don't know what the issue is. We agreed personal terms with him. We had a fee agreed with Sevilla as well. They obviously then changed that and wanted for Chelsea to match the release clause, which I think we've done, or if we're in the process of trying to do. I just don't see the problem here. I'm so confused why we still haven't signed him. Koulibaly, another one from Napoli, of course. You know, we've been chasing him for years. We still haven't got him. And Delete is another one who looks like he's almost Bayern Munich bound by the looks of it. His destination preferably would be in Germany, which is fine. I think a lot of clubs now, the problem is when a new owner comes in, so does the price. The price of the players goes up, or the difficulties trying to get these players is more challenging because they expect you to play a little bit more, seeing as you're the new owner. They know that you've got a bit more money to spend. They're going to charge you a bit more. So I do feel like we're in a catch-22. I think some of the players that we have been linked with, Ousmane Dembele being the prime example, has potentially used Chelsea as a bargaining tool for the clubs that they're currently at. You know, he wants a deal at Barcelona. Same with Rafinha. You know, he wants to go to Barcelona, but he's used Chelsea as the carrot to dangle in front of Barcelona. Seems to be working with them as well. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's worrying that we're going into pre-season with no real confirmation of who we're going to be playing with at centre-back next season. We still obviously have Trevor Chalobah. We have Thiago Silva, who will be turning 38 in a couple of months. It's just a bit worrying that we don't have those definitive roles nailed down when we're going over to America in a couple of weeks to start our pre-season matches. And, you know, you don't want to be signing them mid-pre-season or, you know, the back end of pre-season, you know, going into that final sort of pre-season against Udinese, going into that game. I think it's on the 28th of July, going into that game, and we still don't really know who our centre-back partnership will be. You know, they're going to need a lot of time to blend in, to gel, you know, to understand how each other works within that back three or back two, whatever it's going to be, as centre-backs. So there's a lot for me that should be happening now that doesn't seem to be moving as quick as I would have liked. I'm hoping this Sterling deal that looks like it's going to be announced in the next 24 hours is the domino effect, and it allows other players to come in. But it just seems at the moment we've got too many fingers in too many pies at the moment, and I just think we need to dwindle that down and go for the prime targets that we need. And for me personally, Delete and maybe Koundé would be the two obvious ones for me, but we'll have to see. I mean, we've still got Ampadu there as an option, Levi Colwill as another one, but I just don't think they're ready. They're not the level that I would want to see. You know, with an aging Thiago Silva who was Rolls Royce last season, but you can tell as the season goes on, this is a very more challenging season. So you expect Thiago Silva to pick up the odd knock injury every now and again. So that's going to be, for me, a challenging moment. I think we need to get that nailed down. The fact that we haven't, like I said, is quite worrying, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that pans out. Obviously, before we wrap up, the new Chelsea kit, the official launch has happened this morning as I'm recording this. Obviously, the trailer. I mean, we do our promo videos almost like, you know, movies. But let me know your thoughts, because obviously it's mixed emotions amongst the fan base. Of course, you know, the collar is the big thing. People aren't really keen on a collar. I have to agree with them. I don't think without that, I think if we didn't have that collar on the kit, I think it'd be perfect. But obviously, Free snaked us throughout the sanctions as well, so I'm very reluctant to give them or part with money whilst they're still our sponsor. There is talks, I think, in the next couple of months that we'll agree a new sponsorship deal with our new for our new kit for next season in the next couple of months or so. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, the training stuff's amazing. If you guys want to go and check that out, go to the Megastore website or the app on the Fifth Stand app. You'll be able to go straight from there and check out some of the training gear, which I think is brilliant. Obviously, with the Trivago, looks nice and clean. But yeah, I mean, the kit itself, I don't know, man. It's one of those. I don't think I could push £120 on a shirt that I know I'm really not keen on, and the fact it's still sponsored by Free. But again, let me know your thoughts about the kit in the comments as well. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel as well. I think with 220 subscribers, let's try and get that to 250 by the end of the week. And of course, guys, listen, episode 64, as I said, go straight to Apple Podcasts, YouTube, search. I'm going to put the video link here somewhere. Make sure you go and check that out. Teed up myself. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll be back with another video very soon. Thanks for watching.